Well, I had an exclusive interview with the Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Olamilekan Adegbite. Now, he begins by saying that more value has been added to the sector, talking about adding value contribution to enable it contribute substantially to government coffers. That's talking about revenue. Enjoy it.
A lot has been done. You said acknowledging what my predecessors have done. There's been incremental value that's been brought to the sector by different actors that come before me. And we're building on that, essentially. This year, we're focusing on certain aspects of, I didn't mention the roadmap that was drawn in 2015. So this year, we're trying to bring some minerals that Nigeria has in abundance to the market. We spend a lot of money importing barite. Barite is one of them. It's number one we're bringing to the market. Barite is something that's used in the oil industry for drilling. Nigeria has abundance of that. But then we spend millions of dollars, in hundreds of millions of dollars annually importing barite to Nigeria. So it's one of the things we're working on this year to make sure that we stem that. And we're looking at a program of a year, and maybe in about 2 years for Nigeria to stop importing barite totally, and we'll begin to export from Nigeria to the sub-region, West African sub-region. That is one. We're also looking at dimensional stones. We've got plenty of that, you know. Nigerians, we love good things and all. And we spend millions and millions of dollars importing granite, marble from Italy, from China and all that. And we've got plenty of that. Even Nigeria has some rarer stones that people long for that you can't find in other countries. So we also want to put effort into that, help the investors to bring them to the fore so that we can begin to utilize our stones locally. There's no difference. You get the stone in the raw form where it exists, and of course you bring them to the factory where you cut them into slabs, into tiles, and of course polish them, and of course they're fit for them. So these are some of the things we want to do this year. And of course, Ajaokuta resuscitation is also starting this year. So we've got a full program ahead of us for this year.
Issues around regulations have always been brought to the fore where people talk about what you can do to actually help attract foreign investments into the country. Tell us what this government is really doing that will make investors so interested and say Nigeria is where they want to come to. Tell us one or two of this that you are doing to encourage more investments in the mining sector.
Well, a lot has been done in that aspect. The federal government has given a lot of concession in terms of for investors to come in. One of that is tax holiday. You have 3 extendable to 5 years tax holiday for people who are coming to mining, fresh investors. We also have import duty waivers for your machineries. If you're bringing any machine for mining, you can apply to the ministry. We are certain that, and then of course we'll write to the Federal Ministry of Finance. And of course, they grant you that import duty waiver. And of course, Nigeria is only asking for a minimum of just a small amount of 5% royalty or whatever you realize. So your investment is safe. We are providing infrastructure for the investors that are coming in. You can see the central line that's been built in Nigeria. That's the railway line there in the middle, coming from Warri all the way is up to Ajaokuta now. It's been extended. The contract has been signed to Abuja. It will join the Lagos Canal. So this is one of the infrastructure plan for we have for miners. So because you realize your product, you want to take it out of the country, you have those spines.
Your relationship to states remains very important, like Osun, where there's gold, we know of Zamfara, and issues around illegal minings and all of that. What's your partnership with state governors? How are they partnering with you to make sure that the goal of getting more revenue from this sector is achieved?
Osun is a beautiful state that they have a lot of gold and all the minerals. And of course, like I said, our proof of concept currently in gold is in Osun, with the Canadian company, Tor Explorations, that are there and all that. And I think about 2-3 weeks ago, or could be 4 weeks, I was with the Osun State Governor, and they are fully with us to support this proof of concept. That's a Seguela project to make sure it comes to fruition. And of course, this will bring other people in. So we have a good relationship with Osun State Government. I was in Nasarawa last week. The Nasarawa State Government is on board. I met the governor of Lagos State, and I keep going around like that. My Minister of State has gone to the southeastern part and is meeting governors in the southeast as well. We are bringing the governors on board to let them see The beauty in, look, let's do this collectively has been done in oil and gas, and of course we all benefit. And the governors are coming on board. We are doing beautifully well. With data now, we are so good. There's a lot of funding that has gone into that. We've got the British Geological Survey. They're giving us all the old data because they have a lot of data from the olden days. You know, they were here as our colonial masters. I said the Geological Survey was established in Nigeria in 1903. So they have all that data. What they're doing is they're converting from analog to digital, and they're giving us that. Of course, not for free. We have this World Bank project that's supporting that. We are taking all our agencies online. So putting the data out there for people to see. The NGSA has been digitalized. They went live as of yesterday as well, this morning, midnight. The cadastral office is also going online. Very soon that will come on. The ministry itself and all the departments are going online. So data, of course, can be better than it is now.
Now let's talk about funding here now. It remains very important to revive this sector. There are lots of challenges you face with regards to funding. Tell us how it's been like raising funds to actualize the dreams and all that you intend to achieve in the Mines and Steels Development Ministry.
Well, Ajaokuta, I have to give kudos to the President. President Muhammadu Buhari went to Russia with those, for my sector, with those two requests, and we got that. We got Ajaokuta, and we got exploration through Rosgeo. What we are doing differently, and it's beautiful, is that, you see, we are dealing with a government that is reliable. We've tried commercial concession in the past, and it has failed. We've tried that twice, it's failed. Now we're working with government. So the Russian government is saying, look, we're giving the backing to this company, which they will nominate, and he will do the work. So we always have a recourse to the government and all that, and that's what we're doing. It's a beautiful thing, and we're hoping with the funding in place, Ajaokuta, within the next 2.5 years, should be producing. So it's a beautiful thing. And we have to say thank you to President Buhari. Yes, the funding I've told you is coming from Afrexim Bank, and of course the Russian Export Center. They're bringing the funding to the table. And the beauty of that, again, is that the project itself, as a business case being established, is going to pay for itself over years. So they're going to complete Ajaokuta, start production, and of course, the company will pay back all these debts that has been done.
Minister of Mines and Steel Development there, Olamilekan Adegbite, really now plans for the Mines and Steels Development Ministry for the year 2020 and of course beyond. Ajaokuta, that would be very good to come back and to become functional. Many believe that this will create jobs and actually make the sector more viable, even for investors, attractive for them to come in.